Going through the final warm-up hits and ready to play.
Love 15.
And you could see on that very first point the problems in playing in this wind. The wind stopped that ball up, and Sabatini was expecting it to come further, and it just died.
15 all.
15 partout. 15 all.
Sabatini was in a final just a week ago, losing to Chris Evert in Los Angeles.
Premier service, first serve. Fifteen
30.
That return came back so fast that Gabriela had scarcely completed her service action and really wasn't quite ready for that ball in the middle of the court.
All.
30 all.
And as you see, that was an awfully good shot there, but Gabriela manages to cover the court so well on the wide backhand. Very good extension she has at that side.
Quarante.
40-30.
Yesterday, Chris Evert, I think, lost because she was unable to attack the short second serve of Sabatini. Zvereva, to win, I think, will have to attack it.
That's very good play.
Deuce.
Both players already hitting the ball awfully hard. A good rally like this right at the beginning, and that ball probably stayed in just because of the side wind, and Gabriela had no time to recover.
Advantage, Sabatini.
Unforced error there off the racket of Zvereva. One thing that Sabatini has done throughout this tournament, she's played some excellent percentage tennis.
Wind takes that out. Sabatini opens up by holding serve. The player's challenge continues after this. Well, for the first time today, we'll now see the serve of Zvereva. Love 15.
A little bit late in hitting that forehand.
I think that she will try to employ the drop shot against Gabriela, but it's so difficult because Gabby's balls are bouncing so high, and I suppose most people know that it's awfully hard to hit a drop shot of a high bouncing ball. You really have to do it off a much lower bouncing ball.
Three break points now for Sabatini.
And it really is just too solid, Gabby's play there. Every time she was in control of the point, had set up the short ball, took it in on an absolutely excellent slice approach shot. So trouble already.
$15-40.
15-40.
Well, Zvereva is going to have to play that kind of aggressive tennis to sort of throw Sabatini off her consistent ground stroke game, because Virginia, as you said, she doesn't want to be hitting those high topspin balls all afternoon, especially in a wind.
She's got to find a way to dominate. She cannot let Gabriela control the play.
Drop shot works. 30-40 and 2 break points now saved.
Beautiful execution on that drop shot.
30-40.
This is a difficult shot, of course, to play on a hard court because the ball sits up, but this is hit so well that Sabatini couldn't even get to the ball to attempt a return. So she's batting .500 on 2 drop shots. I think the sun, which has just come out shining very brightly, bothered her on that first service.
What a good shot.
Each of the first 2 games goes to deuce.
She's really managed to step into that one. She almost got inside the baseline when she hit this ball, and that was, of course, because Gabby's shot was a little bit short, but exactly the right way to play those high-bounding balls.
Another break point for Sabatini, her 4th of this game.
She tried to do exactly the same thing, but it was a little over-anxious on that one. Have to get your timing just right.
Sabatini with the service break and a 2-love lead in the first set.
Sabatini having pretty much total control of that point. There's this short forehand, crunches that down the line, but a good retrieve by Zvereva, but the overhead, or the lob, was just too short.
Whichever one of these girls wins today, it will make them the youngest person to ever win this tournament. Tracy Austin held that distinction, 18 years, 8 months.
15-0, 15 love.
Well, she did everything right, played the difficult shots, and then missed what looked like the easiest shot. She's no stranger in finals, Natalia. 2 big tournaments already this year, 2 last year. This year, of course, the French, and then Eastbourne, both of which she wasn't in the final for very long.
Well, she certainly has had some opportunities in the first 3 games, but has not capitalized.
15 partout,
15 all.
15 all.
And those errors are hard to come by from Gabriela. Beautifully played point by Gabriela Sabatini.
30-15, 30-15.
She finishes that shot off with a nice little touch volley at the net.
And Don, that's exactly what we were watching her practicing this morning. Angel, her coach, had her up at the net, and he was hitting balls out of the hand, but one way over to the backhand, and then the one way over to the forehand, which she was finishing with that little drop volley, so it was absolutely intentional.
Double fault. First one. 2-love Sabatini in the first set.
Gabriela Sabatini just seems to be
40-30.
overpowering Zvereva. Moving in smartly to the net, the short lob, and plenty of time for the smash into that open court. Just too much firepower.
Égalité, deuce.
Deuce. All 3 games have now gone to deuce.
The only time that they did play last year at Wimbledon in the 4th round on the center court, and Natalia came out and just couldn't stay with the power at the beginning. It was a little bit like this, that Gabby was just so much stronger, and of course a year ago Natalia she was a baby still, she'd only just turned 16, and she wasn't as tall, and she was completely overwhelmed, and then she started finding her way and finding the opportunity to make drop shots, and she really had a chance of winning that match.
Sabatini waiting for the wind to die down a little bit. It's almost strange. A week ago we were worried about the humidex in Toronto. Today it's the wind chill factor.
Jeu et Sabatini.
Sabatini holds serve, and she's out to a quick 3-love lead in the first set. Players' challenge continues in a moment.
She leads 3 games to love.
Natalia Zvereva of the Soviet Union down 3-love.
Well, I am just so impressed with the tactic that Sabatini has come out here. Again, that was something that she was implementing in practice. She was really trying that, and she is trying to do that, short angle volleys.
15 partout,
15 all.
One of the few opportunities that Zvereva has had a chance to play her game. Sabatini simply has not allowed that to happen.
Well, a little ambitious, but
15-30.
she has to try to do something to break Gabriela up. She does hit her drop shot so well, but, you know, it is, as we've said, the hardest court, really, to use drop shots. Even grass is a better surface to use drop shots than high-bouncing cement.
Sabatini taking all kinds of time between points. And 2 break points for Sabatini to go up 4-love.
40.
Sabatini is simply hitting Zvereva off the court.
It's those extra inches in height that she has. And of course, she's a year older, a good year older. It makes a difference at this stage. Yep.
Third game, Sabatini.
Sabatini now 4-love leader in set 1.
Elle mène 4 jeux à 0. She leads 4 games to love.
The age makes a difference not only in strength and maturity, but of course also in experience. And it was Gabriela who actually started converting finals into tournament wins at the end of last year. First tournament win was in October. Well done. And so far, the only tournament wins that Natasha has had have been in junior tournaments. Last year, she won 3 of the Grand Slam Junior Championships.
15 partout, 15 all.
$30-15.
30-15.
Little trouble in that wind, and also a lack of concentration. She moves in, deep volley, has the lob, which is very makeable, and takes her eye off the ball.
Quarante.
40-15.
It's just all a little bit too much for her at the moment. She just isn't given a chance to settle herself to play any of her shots.
Sabatini puts it away with authority, and she is right now in total command. 5-love first set. Players' challenge continues in a moment.
She leads 5 games to love.
They've only been playing for 23 minutes, but already Sabatini has a 5-love lead in this first set. First service percentage.
You can see that Natasha's got a much greater first serve percentage in, but she isn't winning nearly as many. And her first serve is good, but it's not making any impression whatsoever against Gabby.
Broken twice.
She had a good first serve percentage yesterday. When things go wrong,
Love 15.
they just all go wrong, and you can imagine how she must be feeling. It gets harder and harder. You begin to get desperate when you 5-love down. Your only hope of winning points is doing something exotic.
15 partout, 15 all.
You know, it's not that serious if you lose the first set. That's the great thing about tennis. There's 3 sets, but you really have to be in the match by the end of the first set.
French Open final, she was wasted by Steffi Graf, love and love. So there's a couple of times this year where she's lost a set at love.
There are 2 ways of looking at it. You know, she did brilliantly to get to the final, but on the other hand, you don't want to get too much of a record of losing in finals easily.
Continues to catch a lot of shots late, and that's because of the heavy and deep topspin off the racket of Sabatini. A very important game for Zvereva to win.
Forty.
40-30.
I think that was a calculated shot from Natasha, that low skidding backhand, and in my opinion that's one of the few ways of hurting Gabby, but again difficult on the surface. Keeping the ball really low and short on the backhand side.
Égalité.
Deuce.
Had a good opportunity there to go down the opposite line.
Yeah, I mean, that's a shot that she likes to play. Yesterday she made endless passing shots. Like that.
That was her best shot of the afternoon.
Avantage, advantage, Zvereva.
$81,000 to the winner today. 32-4 to the runner-up. Well, Zverev is on the scoreboard. No, it's overruled.
Well, that is a strange call for the umpire to make. It's a very difficult to call that line just close to him, but Zvereva gives it a second look, but she is very good about this on the court. She doesn't argue. She had reason to, I thought.
Deuce.
Égalité, deuce.
Now with the game potentially taken away from her, Zvereva asking herself if she can win that game.
So she certainly can't get a break.
No.
Boy, when things go bad, they go bad. Oh, beautiful disguise on the drop shot.
Throws Sabatini.
Advantage,
You know, it's so great to see somebody using these touch shots, because tennis has become so one-dimensional and brute force, and it's really almost gone out of the repertoire of most players. So it's a real joy to see her using these touch shots.
Jeu game Zvereva.
Well, this time she does win the game. 5-1 first set.
Sabatini mène 5-2-1. Sabatini leads 5 games to 1.
And that should give her just a little confidence booster. Gabby is making her work so hard for every single point, really pushing her around the court.
Great serve.
Ace. 30 love.
30 love.
That was the first ace of the match.
Zero.
40 love.
Sabatini served very well against Chris Evert yesterday, and she continues to do so today against Zvereva. Very unorthodox forehand swinging volley by Zvereva, but she made it.
Well, you might as well go for it, mightn't you, when you 40 love.
Down and out.
Yep.
Ace
And
Well, that didn't look even close to me.
no, I don't know why Zvereva's standing there. Sabatini's already sitting down. It's 6-1. The first set took 29 minutes. Players' challenge continues after this.